So here's a quick demo of this new module, the warp dimensions. This is a nonlinear sequencer. Basically, it has 8 steps of CV control with knobs here. I haven't put the knobs on yet. And you can go normally, but you could also control it with these 3-dimensional selector switches that basically control the timing and the direction and the patterns of the sequence. So I have a quick patch here to demo. So I have this spectrum oscillator here, and a bunch of outputs are going into one of my mixers. And this mixer is going into this filter here, low pass filter, 24 pole. And the contour is controlling the filter. And the filter output is going into the clouds just for some effects if I feel like I need to. And I have Pamela's new workout controlling the stepping of warp dimensions right here, and B, or 1 and 2 is controlling the contour. Now the contour is just right now just a quarter beat, as well as the sequence. I feel, yeah, everything is just quarter beats. Basic. I just reset the Pamela, so it's just basic. So just kind of show you a little bit how it works. So let's do play. So quarter beats. So you see it's going through a flow, normal flow. I don't know if you can hear this properly or not. Let me try and get the speaker closer. Hopefully you can hear that better. Same notes, but it changes direction or behavior, and I find that really interesting. Oh, by the way, I didn't say that it's going also through a quantizer here. I find it really interesting because you can kind of dial in certain melodies or like a regular flow and then create mutations of it, and it's a lot nicer than trying to go and find the right notes and stuff. You already know that these notes work, so you can kind of play around with it. It's a bit crazy, it's a bit hectic, because not all of them are going to make sense, but it's interesting. So you see now, it used to go linear like this, now it's going quadrant pattern. And if I do this kind of doubles and splits into just these 2 lines. And some of the transitions into alternate patterns will take a lot of time, because the slowest dimensional shift, let's say, of each one could be up to 64 division of the clock. So that's a lot of time to wait. Switch back to these. Let's see if I can. Oh, you see, it just switched. Put some clouds into it. So this is another variation, like you see, and there's 12 steps on each selector, and each selector is a different shift or warp or time division, let's say. So, and each combination could be a completely different sequence based on timing and direction. So if you say 12 and 12 and 12, I think I calculated something like 1700 plus alternate patterns. So there's a lot of stuff to explore in it. This is gonna give you a bit more options, just as a demo, just show you different combinations because it goes faster. Some of them are kind of slow. So that's kind of the idea of it. There's a lot of stuff to explore, and I kept the faceplate relatively minimal just because I wanted it to be more of an exploratory module than just dialing in exactly what you think should be done. The only thing I've done is that I've calibrated the selector pods so that when they're facing all the way 12 o'clock, all of them, it's just a regular linear sequencer, because otherwise it's just going to be crazy to get back to some normalcy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now there's another thing that I haven't spoken about yet, is these here. Now these are basically connected to these selector pods, and they work both as outputs or inputs actually. So whatever step division, time division step is being used for this dimension is going to be outputted out of this, but you could also input a gate into it to modify the sequence. So if I grab another cable, I really hope you guys can hear me properly. If I take this 4 here, let's see with the camera, this is a basic quarter note. If I put it here, so you see it's kind of messing up. If I do it here, so that's interesting. A lot of interesting stuff. You can also self-batch. So now I have this cable here. If I self-batch it, so that's another thing. stuff like that. What's even cooler, if I just stop this, so I just stopped the pan. What's even cooler is we can do something completely different. Now this is the clock input here. I don't know if you can see that, but let's say we don't want to just clock it. We want to manually trigger the steps, I guess you could say. So if I get rid of this and just use this and another one here. Okay, so now this won't be that melodic, I think, at the beginning because it's kind of hard to dial it in. But let's say I have here 5, 6, 7. So I have a 5. Let's do, this one is going to be, I don't know, like times 3, 6 is going to be times 1.5, and 7 is going to be times 2. I don't know, something stupid like that. And when you hit start, you get this. So now there's no clock driving it. It's literally being just triggered manually by another sequencer. Right, well, technically 3 sequencers or clock divisions. So you don't need to run a clock into it. You could just manually just do this. Now let's try making maybe a Euclidean thing. Let's do 7, and the trigger amount is I can't even see. Okay, 5, and 6, 5. Let's do this one. This is going to be. Let's do 5 steps and 3 triggers, something like that. Let's see what that does. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, when you do that, you don't really have much control with these knobs. I think there's like only one specific step where it makes a difference. That's because the clock itself is just on high at the root step. Doesn't matter. The idea here is just to show you that you could just control the module with these 3 instead of running a clock and then self-patching. Now, of course, like I said, you could do both. So I have these 3 going. Now I have a clock coming back here. And if I put it into my clock, this is going to be a bit weird. So I have this now. Now it's not actually doing anything because these are taken over pretty harshly, pretty fast. So you don't really see the effect of the clock. If I do it maybe at the 4. No, not really. You don't really see a difference. But yeah, so you can do that. Let me try something else. Let me do the 4. So you see right now, if you disconnect this one, so many options. Like, I'm loving all this stuff. So yeah, that's